미안해가? どうした? 미안해.
Ah, hello. You. Do you know what you're getting into? Let me ask you a question. Are you prepared to die for your cause? I was acting.
Alright, gamers. It's finally time for our last rerun this patch. And it's a character that I've been wanting for a little while, but I just can't seem to get her. I did a summon before recording this, and yeah, it didn't go so well. Come on, please. Who's this? God damn it! This is my third time pulling her. Bro, please, why do I keep getting? But that won't stop me from trying to cover her and let you guys know how I personally feel about her. Now, mind you, I'm still relatively new when it comes to learning shit in this game, so take whatever I say with a grain of salt. But with that in mind, how do I feel about Tess? And to be honest with you, she seems pretty good. I don't know if she's a must summon, but she seemed good. All right, like just quick rundown, right? So her skill, you're never using it, but just in case there's any weirdos out there who do, it does stuff based off the cards that you draw. Each card does a different thing. I don't really feel like reading all this shit, but I guess I will. If you draw the yellow card, your skill gets reduced cooldown. You draw the pink, you do fucking AoE chaos damage to 4 targets, well, nearby targets. If you draw the white card, you deal damage to destructible objects and replenish 2 bullets. If you draw the blue card, you apply frozen to a target. Draw the red card, you cause a blast that deals AoE damage and then applies a burn to everybody within range. And I mean, that's really it, unless you get her neural skills, which doesn't really help it too much outside of like helping it do extra damage or decreasing the cooldown. So you're never using that. You're never using her standard skill, all right? Now, you're not ever using that standard skill, but your other 2 skills you definitely gonna use. Now we got her support skill. This right here, this is something you're gonna use a lot. At first, it's not that good. I'm not gonna lie to you. All it does is let your operatives deal additional electric damage. The initial bonus is 20%, but to be honest with you, it goes down by 1% every second, up to a max of 15. So at bare minimum, you're doing an extra 5% electrical damage. And unless you're using an electrical character, it's kind of useless. But the skills is where it changed a bit. The first neural skill changes the damage boost from electric damage to whatever the deployed operative is. So if I'm using Cherno does chaos damage, therefore the bonus I'm going to get is going to apply to chaos damage, which is kind of cracked. I think that the decrease in bonus is kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Her second one is all right. It doesn't really do much outside of boost the effectiveness of like the various stats in the game. So for example, whenever you deal electrical damage, it inflicts paralyzed for 2 seconds, I guess. Chaos is slow, kinetic is stunned, frost is frozen, thermal, it actually is different. Everything else before just inflicts a status for 2 seconds. But when it comes to thermal, it inflicts burn for 10 seconds. And it deals damage to 10% of Tess's attack. That's not bad. That's pretty alright. But her ultimate though, this is where she's really useful. This is actually the thing people pull her for, and what I pulled her for, even though I didn't get her. But that's okay. It's always next time, maybe. Okay, but basically what her ultimate does is generate ult energy for the team. Tess is very unique in the sense that her ultimate actually costs 0 energy to cast, which is pretty good considering her whole purpose is to generate the shit in the first place. But basically, here's what happens. You pop her ult, and then periodically, whenever your deployed operator shoots an enemy, Tess will appear to shoot said enemy as well. It recovers 5 ultimate energy right next to them. But that's based off of Tess's U energy recovery. And then that effect can be triggered once every 2 seconds. which is pretty crack because you can generate a lot of energy very quickly, especially using someone who shoots like very rapidly. But there is a downside to this. Whenever Tess does this, at the very end of it, like the ultimate, which lasts for 25 seconds, at the very end of it, whatever energy you generated is gone. Just disappears. So whatever you got planned, you better make sure you do it, because otherwise you wasted her ultimate. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's the only downside of it, which is fine. In terms of her neural skills, like they seem, I don't, like you might as well get them, right? Like I wouldn't say they're a must grab, but you might as well get them since you're going to be using your ultimate anyway. The first one's okay. Basically, any remaining U energy at the end of her ultimate, like whatever is cleared, just gets converted into shields, and it's equal to 5% of Tess's attack for every 1 energy converted. Kind of useless, but I guess it's there. Her second skill, which is a bit better than the first one, basically converts whatever U energy is cleared from, like at the end of the ultimate, just lowers the cooldown of the ultimate. And it's like a 0.5 percentage for every 1 U energy up to 50%, which is pretty good. I mean, that you can get knock off like 75 seconds off of it max, which isn't bad. But that's pretty much all she does. And to be honest with you, it's like she's a good support, but she's very niche. Like for example, I'm not going to be running her with fucking life, right? Because like life's ultimate isn't her main purpose. So if you main characters that don't really necessarily use their ultimate, Tess is kind of a wasted pull. I don't think anybody should pull for Tess if you don't use characters that that relies on their ultimate. But from what I can see so far, like the characters I think get the most bang for their buck off of Tess, it's like Cherno, for example. Fredia Hush looks insane with her. Like not insanely good, just looks insane. Fucking turn into Iron Man or some shit, and you can launch like a fucking what's this shit called, the Unibeam or whatever, his fucking little laser from his chest. That's basically what you turn Fredia into. Yao is cracked with her because you could get Yao's ultimate. You're going to be hitting big numbers very quickly. I think that's pretty much it so far. I don't think there's any other character in the game that really benefits from having like that extra ultimate. So like she really only is good for 3 characters, but if you main into those 3 characters, it's like she's not a must pull, but she's a very nice pull. I guess arguably for Fredia, she's a must pull because outside of that, Fredia, that's like her niche doesn't work well without the way to quickly generate ultimate energy. But even then, you would want Fredia at high investment. By investment, like high manifestations, I mean, to fully use her with Tess. But like other than that, like Tess isn't really that great of a support. You'd be better off pulling like Kaguya, Keisha, how the fuck say her name, or Malx or Shadow, whatever. The 5 stars of both those characters. They are both better supports that can be used on way more teams than her. But they also support characters differently. But other than that, like that's pretty much all to Tess. She seems like a good character, but not a must pull. But if you did pull her, you are a spender. There's one thing I did want to talk about. That's her skin. All right, listen. I thought Enya was bad. It like in the sense that like very, very fan servicey. But Tess, yeah, these devs are really pushing that 18 rating. Just to say the least. I think the only downside to the skin is that you're never gonna see the second transformation after you use the ultimate. I'm not even sure if I can even show it. If I do show it, I might just throw up like a way to censor it. But like you're not really gonna see it too often because like once you pop her ultimate and a lot of things come off. Like the only other time you're gonna see Tess like that is whenever you use her support skill post ultimate. But other than that, like it seems kind of pointless. So from my point of view, it's like while it is very fan servicey, it's kind of pointless because you're not really gonna see it that often. You know, at least with Enya, like you could, right? Because you're gonna pop her ultimate a lot. Plus, there's a lot of close-ups, and then you might throw out on the field if you, like me, and you just like doing that anyway. But I think there are better options to spend money on for skins. In terms of her weapon, I'm going to be honest with you. I have no idea. Probably shouldn't pull for it anyway, but if you have the extra pulls, I don't see why not. It's her best in slot, obviously, is made for her. But it's like, I don't know. I wouldn't really recommend doing weapon pulls anyway, outside of like you being a diehard fan of a character. So like this wouldn't even apply to you in the first place. You, like by the time somebody watches the video but really likes Tess, they probably already pulled Tess anyway. Whether they got her or not is different. Or pull for Tess is what I should say. But yeah, I mean that pretty much covers everything regarding Tess. I'll try to keep this a bit short. I'm trying to cut back on the yapping a bit. But yeah, I mean that's all I have to really say about Tess. She's good, not a must pull. Probably save really because the anniversary is I think 2 updates away. Or coming up to 2 updates away. So yeah, you're probably better off just saving and not pulling a me and getting shafted. So anyway, I appreciate everybody who watched. And I appreciate everybody who subscribed or even like or even comment, to be honest with you. This shit going crazy. But yeah, I'll see you all in the next video. Again, shout out to everybody who sticks around. You're really helping me justify playing this game as much as I do, and contemplating whether or not I should break the bank on this game, even though I got about -$dollars in my bank account. So anyway, see you all later. Hope that you all have a wonderful day and spend wisely for all those spenders out there. See you next time. See you later. Not sure. We're gonna work on this ending one day.